Greetings, Divine Healing Collective. This is the space where healing, growth, and transformation happen from the inside out. I'm going to start by taking a breath in, breathing in love and peace. Slowly exhale, releasing fear and limitations. Let's flow. So, today is all about finding your inner authority. We're going to be talking about what doesn't align or no longer aligns with us anymore. So to give you an example, let's go with work, right? So you may be in a job that's not fulfilling, but you're doing it because it pays the bills, it keeps food on your table, etc., 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 right? But you're not waking up and like, I'm enthused and excited about my day and going to work to clock in and do these hours today. So that could be a sign of misalignment. So we want to talk about what are the three signs that you are misaligned and how do you begin to address those things. So I'll go back to a little story that I shared with you a couple of days ago. And this is the story about the acorn. So an acorn, again, has everything that it needs within it to be an oak tree. Does it want to be a pear tree? Probably not, because it doesn't possess what it takes to be a pear tree. Does it want to be an apple tree? Probably not, because it doesn't possess what it needs to be an apple tree. So we want to think about those things and start to really bring ourselves back to a place of alignment when things do not feel quite right. So the first sign that you may be misaligned is constant resistance and exhaustion. So you may wake up already tired. I don't want to do this today. You resist everything. There's some friction. Things start to irritate you. It's just like, this is not what I want to do. Things are seeming to be a little harder than they should be, right? You're pushing against the grain. You're struggling. So some of the questions that you can ask yourself is, am I forcing something that no longer fits, right? If it's not smooth, if it's not naturally flowing, am I forcing it? The second question to ask yourself is, am I doing this out of obligation rather than conviction, right? So if you feel like I'm obligated to do this for whatever reason, there could be some misalignment there. The second thing is there's inner conflict and lack of peace. The things that are for you bring you joy, they bring you peace, they bring you happiness, right? So we're going beyond just a paycheck or being in a relationship just to have someone around or to feel like I'm not alone, right? So these things should bring you peace, not inner conflict. So one of the things that you may feel, your intuition may be whispering to you, right? This is not the right person for you. This is not the right situation. This is not the right job. It's time to leave. And I will ask you, are you listening to that inner voice, which we call your intuition, or are you fighting against it, right? Some questions to ask yourself would be, what truth am I avoiding, right? Where am I betraying my own needs and boundaries? So when you are misaligned, you're going against your own inner knowing, right? That deep feeling that you have that tells you that this is not right, right? You're creating that resistance yourself, okay? The third thing is, are you losing joy in something that once lit you up, right? And again, this could be with anything. A lot of times we experience this with relationships, right? We call it the honeymoon period, where everything seems to be amazing, it's going well, we're on the same page, we agree on everything, we like the same things, right? It feels wonderful in the beginning, but then you start to realize that it becomes draining or stressful or burdensome, right? So if those things are starting to occur, I would ask myself again, am I aligned with this person? Okay. Same thing with your job or your career path or even a business that you started, right? A lot of times we jump into these different opportunities because it seems like something that I can make money off of really quickly. A lot of people are selling get wealthy quick, build generational wealth for your family, but you start to feel it's a burden, right? Every day you wake up, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, but it's not fulfilling what's within me. So I would start to question, looking deep within myself, is this opportunity aligned with me? And if it's not, it may be time to release. So, one question you can ask again: what energizes me lately? What thing I'm excited about doing? I put everything into it. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yes, let's do it, right? Let's get it, okay? Whatever that thing is, I would say that may be an alignment, right? The other question is, what am I continuing simply because I've always done it, right? It's something that's easy for me. I can wake up, it's just like the back of my hand, right? I can do it without any struggle. And people tend to get into different employment that way as well. People have been with jobs 20, 30, 40 years. And why would I change it? Why would I start a business? Because this is what I know. I can do this easily, right? So if that's something that you're just simply doing because you've always done it, it always has been this way, it's something that I'm used to, again, I would question, is this still aligned with who I am? So as you start to reflect on these different things and what really aligns you or give you a sense of alignment, think about the peace that it brings, right? Even when it's challenging, right? Even when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I have to grind for my business today, right? I have to go out and seek clients, right? I have to do marketing on social media. All of those different things may not be easy. They could be something that we consider to be a challenge, but it still brings me peace. I find fulfillment in what I'm going to be doing with helping people or providing a service to people, right? The other thing is, does it give you clarity, right? Even when you don't have all of the answers, you're pretty clear that this is something that I should be doing, right? You have that feeling. Do you have the energy? Energy exists, is abundant, even when you're working hard, right? So you can put the pedal to the metal, as they say, grind it out all day, but you feel energized, right? Because what you're pouring out is being poured back into you. So it keeps you going. So I really want to think again about what I need to release because it's not aligned with who I am. So one thing is, it creates frustration, right? Oh, I hate this. Oh, why am I doing this? Right? So it creates a level of frustration instead of flow, right? Confusion. I don't understand it, right? You have no clear guidance on what it is that you're doing. Okay, so if it's creating any type of confusion instead of clarity, then it's something that's probably not aligned. The other thing is, it's draining, it's taxing on the body. You start to have different symptoms, right? It could be anything from headaches to random thoughts, that are not aligned with who you are. Anything that's happening like that, that's draining you constantly, pulling from your energy, you're feeling tired, you don't want to do that thing anymore, then that's something that's probably not aligned, right? So those are just a few things to think about on your journey, and to really start to question, how do I get back into alignment with the things that are within me, and how do I bring those things to pass, right? It's not easy. It is a journey, it's a process, because if it's something that you've been used or accustomed to doing, or something that's always been around you, or something that you've been tied to for a number of years, it's not easy to release. So the first thing is really coming up with your plan of release, right? This can look like journaling, all right, something that you do on a daily basis to make a commitment to yourself. This could look like having an accountability partner, someone that you trust and that you can pair with, that keeps you motivated and encouraged, right? Or you just do some type of daily tracker, right? So it could be, today I'm going to go ahead and get my LLC started, right? I'm going to research what it will take to get this thing done, right? Or it could be, I'm really ready to leave this employment. What else is out there for me to do? What is drawing me to it, right? So maybe your daily practice is to start putting out your resumes, looking for different things that suit you, right? But the thing is, it starts with the thought, knowing that this thing no longer serves me, going back through those questions that were posed earlier and doing something about it, starting to take the necessary steps to be able to pull yourself out of it and to bring yourself back in alignment, right? So this is what we are going to be working on over the next day, 2 days, a week or so, again, as we start to think about what no longer aligns. Okay, so I want you to go in peace, grow in love, and walk in divinity until we meet again.